Hi, I'm Jaden from XLR Security, and today I'm going to show you all the features of EZStation 3.0. This guide is going to cover a lot, so you can skip ahead to the following timestamps if you'd like. If this is your first time using EZStation, I recommend watching the full video to get fully familiarized with what the software is capable of. I'll also let you know if any parts are featuring a specific function to a particular camera or NVR, so you don't waste any time trying to configure something that's not available on your device. First, we have the system requirements for EZStation. Now, EZStation is not a very demanding software, so it should run on most laptops or computers that were built within the past 10 years. Here is a full list of minimum requirements on the screen. So it works on Windows 7 up to Windows 11, as well as Mac operating system 10.11 or higher. And you can find a link to download EZStation by searching EZStation 3.0 in Google. And the first link should be the Uniview website for EZStation software. And just click on that link, scroll to where it says download, and you can download EZStation for Windows or EZStation for Mac by following along with those links. Now, when you first open EZStation, it will ask you to create a super user. So in this case, you must set a password that has at least 9 characters, including 1 letter, 1 number, and 1 special character. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you how that looks. So after you set up the super user password, you're going to see the login screen for EZStation. So you can go ahead and type in the password that you just created. You can also check save password, so that will save the password here. Or you can do auto login, which will automatically log you in every time you open EZStation, so you don't have to type in your password every time. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. So now that EZStation's open, the first thing you want to do is adjust a couple settings to make things a bit easier for yourself. So head over to the system configuration menu on the right-hand side, and we're going to tick a few boxes to make everything run smoother. So first, we have the video page menu, and the first thing I'm going to check is this button called Play Mainstream in Maximize Live View window. So what this does is when you are viewing your cameras on the live view and you double click one of the camera to make it as a full screen, it will switch your camera into the mainstream, which is like the highest resolution. So if you don't check this, then it's going to be on a lowered resolution. So I really recommend enabling this feature. It's a great thing that Uniview added. There's also option for enable or disabling the short PTZ control option. And what this does is allow you to control your PTZ cameras by using the scroll wheel or by clicking along the side of the image. Next, we have enable VCA rule, which shows a bounding box around your crossline or intrusion detection or motion detection zones. So I like to leave this enabled because it's nice to see that sort of crossline area where people will trigger. But if you find it too cluttered or distracting, you can disable it by just simply unchecking it. And the last important setting on this page is called the Enable GPU Mode function. If you have a computer with a discrete graphics card, you can enable GPU mode so that the graphics card can do some of the processing. And this takes away some of the burden from your CPU, and it can help make EZStation run faster, especially on older computers. I recommend enabling it if you can. In this case, my computer does not have a GPU, so it's actually blanked out. So anyway, we're going to apply these settings. And next, we're going to head over to the recording page. And from the recording page, we can change the path of where our files will download to, or you can leave it on the default. But another important setting is to change the recording format. So by default, it's going to give you the files in a .ts format, which is a kind of proprietary format to Uniview. So I like to change this to MP4. it's much easier to share MP4 files with other people, and MP4 files should open on most computers by default. So we'll put it on MP4 and apply the settings. The next setting we're going to adjust is found under the Startup menu. So this is under System and then Startup. And this menu allows you to change the startup behavior of EZStation. So I already have it set to enable auto login. So every time, again, I open EZStation, I don't have to type in my username and password. You can also enable this auto login to Windows. And what this is going to do is every time you open Windows, EZStation is going to start up at the same time. But you must enter your Windows username and password here. In any ways, I'm going to go ahead and leave it like this and click apply. So that pretty much covers all of the main settings that you want to configure on EZStation. There are actually a bunch more settings, but most of these are not very important, so you can safely ignore those for now. Okay, now that you've downloaded EZStation and you've adjusted your settings, we can take a look at how the software actually works. So when you first open EZStation, you're going to see this whole menu over here with a bunch of different icons. This is known as the control panel. And under the control panel, we can find different buttons, which take us to different parts of the software. So also at the top right corner, we have the same sort of menu hidden here. This is like a quick menu. You can also change it between dark theme and the light theme. I usually stick to the dark theme, so I'm going to change that back. There's also this option here for like changing the user, so you can log into a different user if you want to, as well as you can change the password for your user by clicking on this admin at the top. We also have this lock icon, so this is going to instantly log you out of EZStation, and you need to type in your password again to log back in. Then we have this question mark icon for help. So this is pretty helpful. You can go to the configuration wizard and you can start adding your devices from here, or you can go into the user manual. So this will open the PDF manual for EZStation. And this is handy because like they literally go into full depth of all the features. Be sure to take a look at the user manual if you are having any difficulties or you have questions. We also have this About EZStation. So from this About EZStation, you can see which version of EZStation you have downloaded. You can also view the update notes for the latest version. And you can check for updates as well. So if there's an update available, you can just click update and it will automatically start downloading and installing the latest version. So be sure to take a look at that from time to time when there's a new version. So the first menu you want to go to when you start EZStation is called Device Management. From the Device Management page, we can add, remove, or configure devices to our EZStation software. This includes encoding devices such as IP cameras and NVRs, decoding devices, cloud devices, access control devices, and network keyboards. We can add up to 64 local devices, 64 cloud devices, and 512 local and cloud channels. At the bottom, you will see that EZStation has a network scanning utility built in. This displays a list of all the cameras connected to your network. And while this tool can find third-party cameras such as Hikvision, you cannot add it directly to EZStation. Since EZStation only supports the live view and playback of Uniview cameras and NVRs, if you want to view these third-party camera, you'll have to add them to a Uniview recorder first. And if you do not see this network scanning tab at the bottom, try clicking this small arrow at the bottom here and it will appear. At the top of the screen, we can see a list of all the local devices that have been added to EZStation. Right now, we don't have anything added. So to add a device, we need to click on the plus add button near the top, and we're going to enter our device's name. So in this case, I'm just going to call it XLR Security NVR. We also need to enter the IP address for the device, which in this case is this IP address. And then you're going to enter the port number as well as the username and password. And also, EZStation allows you to add devices from the local IP or from the external IP. So if you have a device on a different network remotely, you can use the external IP address instead. Anyways, I'm going to just add this one. And we can see that it's online here now. It's with the green online status. You can also add devices from the bottom by clicking on the checkbox beside your device and then selecting the +add button. So this will add your device right away. However, if your device has a different password than the default of 123456, you will see an error message like this. We can see that it says offline, incorrect username and password. So to fix this, we just highlight the device and then click edit at the top. And then we're going to enter the correct username and password. Right, now the device is online. So once you've added your devices, you can view it from the live view or playback tabs, which I'm going to be covering a little bit later on. If you want to remove your devices from EZStation, you can do so by checking them and clicking the delete button. You can use the time sync button to quickly sync the camera or NVR's time to your PC's time. However, this is not the most accurate way to set the time. We recommend using the NTP server, which you can find out how to use in our video called How to Adjust the Time on Your Uniview NVR. The status button shows you detailed information about your NVR, including which channels are online and which channels are recording, as well as the total space left on your hard drive. And under the operations bar, we have 4 buttons over on the right side. The edit button does the same thing as the edit button on the top, which allows you to change your device's name or change the password if you put the wrong password. The gear icon allows you to adjust some settings on your camera, such as the image, encoding settings, and the OSD settings. So you can also swap between the different channels by clicking at the top left, and you can choose, all your different channels attached to the NVR. There's also this handy Internet Explorer looking icon, and this will quickly open the device in your default web browser. Like this. Very, very helpful, very handy. Lastly, there is a reset button. This is actually going to reboot your device. So you can click it and you can restart the device very fast. So moving on, we have the decoding device page. This will allow you to set up your video decoder if you want to use sort of multiple monitors with your security cameras, but we don't have any decoding devices on the network, so I won't go into too much details. We also have the cloud device page, which gives you 2 options. One is login, the other is register. So cloud device lets you sign into your EZCloud account, and this will allow you to see all the devices that are linked to your EZCloud account. So let me go ahead and log in and show you how that looks. So once you log into your EZCloud account, you will see a list of all the devices that are on your account. At the top, you'll see the devices that are your devices, which means you're the administrator user. And at the bottom, you will see the devices which are shared to you. So somebody else has shared the device to you. And it takes a second for these devices to come online when you first add them. So like you can click refresh and eventually they'll come online. And this is how you can view all your remote cloud devices. So very important, make sure you're aware of this cloud device screen. One more thing is if you do not see your device in this list, then you can click on the device details at the top and simply check the box beside your device, and you want them to be as managed. So you click add manage. In this case, we can see all of them have already been added, but if you don't see your device for some reason, then that's the reason why it's not there. You can also remove the device from your EZStation by checking them and clicking cancel. And if you want to rename your device, you can simply double-click it, or you can check it and click the Edit button, and you can type in a different name for your device, and Sync to Cloud option will change that name across all your devices. Another helpful feature from this menu is that you can share your devices with another person. So by checking on your device, then clicking on the Share button, you'll be able to enter their EasyCloud username. So once you've done that, click OK, and you will start sharing the device with them. We also have the sharing records, which allows you to see a list of users that you've shared with in the past. You can also cancel the sharing by clicking this icon over here with the X, but be careful because this will immediately stop sharing to that user when you click the button. There's no confirmation. The last two options on the device management page allow you to add access control devices under the access control device menu, or a network keyboard to EZStation. So now that you've added your NVR or cameras through the device management page, you can go and view them from the Live View tab. To open the Live View tab, you're going to go back to the control panel at the top left, and then click on the Live View icon. From the Live View page, you'll find a list of all the cameras which you've added to EZStation on the left-hand side. And if you don't see anything here, then make sure you go back to the device management page and add your cameras. But we already have our cameras added. So we can see that there's actually two folders. One is for IP cameras, and the other is for NVR. So you can minimize and maximize the folders by clicking these icons here. You can double-click a camera to open it up right away, or you can double-click on the NVR to open up all the cameras from the NVR right away. You can also change the layout at the bottom left by clicking on this icon here. So now we have 8 camera layout, and EZStation supports up to 64 cameras per layout. You can also open another Live View tab if you want to have more cameras open at the same time. You can even drag these out and move them to a different monitor if you want to, so you can have a different live view for a different monitor. You can also save your favorite layout by clicking on the Save View icon at the bottom. Simply type in a name for your layout, such as like House Cameras, and then click OK. And then when you go to the View menu on the left-hand side, you will see your custom views, and you can simply click on it and instantly bring up your custom view. So the thing about the Live View page is that when you have multiple cameras opened at the same time, they will play back at a lowered resolution, which is also known as the substream. This is done to reduce the load on your computer as well as your internet connection. However, you can manually set the camera to the full resolution by right-clicking, choosing the stream type, and selecting Mainstream. This will bring your camera into full resolution. You can also access your alarm outputs on your device by clicking the small siren icon beside your NVR. If you have a siren or a loudspeaker or any kind of external relay attached to your NVR, you can quickly toggle them on and off from this menu by clicking Trigger or Untrigger. While you're in the Live View page, you can hover over one of the cameras, and you will see a sub-menu appear when you hover over each camera. From this sub-menu, you can do a lot of different things, such as take a snapshot immediately or save a local recording to your computer. There's also an option called Digital Zoom, which I'm going to show you how that works right now. So we click on Digital Zoom, and now we can scroll and we can zoom into the image for more details. You can also drag and move around the image. Or what you can also do is click on the digital zoom icon and then drag over an area, and that will immediately zoom you into the area. And if you want to stop zooming, you just click the zoom icon again. Next, we have a speaker and microphone icon. If your camera has a built-in microphone, you can click the speaker icon to start listening. In this case, this is a dome camera, so there's no speaker. And if your camera supports two-way audio, you can click the microphone icon to start talking through the camera using a microphone attached to your computer or laptop. There's also a POS icon, and this only has functionality if your device is connected to a cash register. When you enable it, you will see a list of the transactions as they appear in real time. For cameras like PTZ or LPR cameras, you'll also find this extra button at the bottom called PTZ Control. Opening the PTZ Control gives you another menu, which allows you to move your camera around, as well as you can zoom it in and zoom it out. You can also adjust different functions, such as like a preset. So you can set a preset as like zoom out, preset 1, and then have a different preset. And you can adjust the different presets and call them up from the PTZ menu. In this menu, there's also a small arrow at the bottom. And when you open this up, you can adjust the speed of your PTZ camera, as well as find some other functions like turn the lights on, turn on the windshield wiper if the camera supports it, and some other features, including infrared on, heater on, and snow removal. Lastly, we also have an option here called Sequence Resource. A sequence resource is like a slideshow. The camera will switch between different cameras every sort of 20 seconds, but you can also adjust it between 10 and 300 seconds. So to make a sequence resource, we're going to click plus add. Then we're going to select our cameras from this menu and import them. And you can choose your interval. So in this case, I'm going to put 10 seconds to show you how it works, and then click OK. Oh, and you also need to enter a name for your resource. So I'll call it like sequence 1. So now that we have our sequence resource, we can add it to the live view, just like a camera. So in this case, it's going to show all the cameras that we selected, and it's going to cycle between them every 10 seconds. Next, we have the Playback tab. So to get to the Playback tab, we're going to go back to our control panel at the top left and look for the Playback icon. Through the Playback menu, we can access the recordings from our cameras, and we can go back as far as our NVR storage allows us to. In this case, we have 10 terabytes of storage, so we can view playback from the past 3 months. Just like the live view page, we have a list of cameras and NVRs on the left-hand side. But we also have a calendar here at the bottom, so let me show you how that works. First, I'm going to check one of my cameras from the list, and then we will see the icon at the bottom of the calendar has lit up. So if it's blue, it means there's a continuous recording, and if there's a red dot, which in this case, this camera should have a red dot, then it means that there was a motion recording. So just select one of your cameras, and you can use the arrows to choose a different time, different month. In this case, we can go all the way back into February, which is about 3 months ago. But I'm going to choose a random date and then click on Search. So this brings up the camera onto that date. In this case, we're at March 7th. And we can double click the camera to make it as full screen. And then at the bottom, we have our timeline, which allows you to quickly scrub through different times of the day. And anything which has a red line is basically motion detection. And if it's blue, it means there was no detection at all. You can also scroll up and down the timeline to zoom in and make it easier to select your time. And you can do the same thing with these 2 buttons on the right-hand side to zoom in the timeline further. If you want to search for a specific time, you can click the small time icon at the bottom left here. So you just click that and you enter any time you want. this case, let's say 1500, and you will immediately jump to that time. You can also move the timeline to a different date by clicking on the calendar icon at the bottom and simply choosing your date. And now your timeline is on the different day. So when you click on the timeline, you'll be on that different day. Another useful tool we have that allows us to search through our footage faster is called Smart Recording Playback, which is very handy if you want to quickly search for something that happened in a specific area. To trigger Smart Recording Playback, we're going to select our camera again from the menu, and then select your day just like before, and click on Search. Now this will bring up the camera, and we see that we have a grid around the camera. But what we can do with this is if we clear the grid, and then we draw in a certain area of the grid. So let's say we want to see in this area, these 2 parking spots only. We can now search through the search icon, and any part of the timeline that's green will be actually our smart search. So we can see that there's motion in this portion of the screen, but actually, yes, exactly. So this area has a green bar, which is because there's a car here. So that allows you to quickly search through all the events that happened within a specific area. And if you want to change your area, you just draw in a different area and so on, so you can see what happened in the different places. If you go to the same drop-down menu, you can find other types of recording, such as POS recording, event recording, VCA recording, and so on. Through the POS recording, you can find all the transactions that happened on your cash register, and event recording allows you to look through the motion detection or alarm input events, while VCA recording allows you to look through some more advanced analytics, such as face detection, cross-line detection, intrusion detection, and so on. Now that you know how to view the playback, let's look into how to download footage from the camera. So there are a couple ways to download the footage, so choose the method that works best for you. First thing we can do is use these clipping scissors icon that appears while you hover over the camera. So first you will need to navigate to the timeline where you want to start the recording. So let's say we want to start sometime around 5:40 in the afternoon. Then you're going to click on the scissors icon, so it'll start clipping. Then wait for the clip to roll to the end of where you want it to record. If you want to clip a larger portion of the timeline, you can simply tap on the start clipping icon and then jump ahead to a different portion of the timeline. So I'm going to jump about an hour ahead. And then you can stop clipping. And this is going to give you a larger portion of time with just a few clicks. So this is going to give you a clip which has started and ended when you chose it to start and end. And then you're going to choose download on high speed, so it downloads faster, and then click OK. You can also download clips by using the download icon on the right-hand side of the page. This allows you to download by a file or input a specific start and end time for the clip. For example, I can enter, let's say 10:05 to 10:10. And then I'm going to check this time and then click download. But if you want to, you can also add multiple times and download them all at the same time. So in this case, I'm just going to select my one time, which is 5 minutes between 10:05 and 10:10. Click download, and the download starts. So the first two examples were covering how to download from a single camera. But if you want to download clips from multiple cameras at the same time, we're going to use the download button at the bottom left corner. So first you click this button, then you're going to select your cameras. In this case, I'm going to select 3 different cameras, and then you simply enter the start and end time of your recording and click download. This will start the recording task for all those cameras that you selected. To check on the status of your downloads, you want to click on this button here called Task Management. It's the 4th icon from the bottom left. This will show you all the cameras that are currently downloading clips, or all the clips that are waiting to be downloaded, as well as all the clips that have already finished downloading. You can click on the folder icon, and this will open the folder where the clips are saved on your computer. So that covers all of the functions on the Playback tab. Next, we're going to navigate over to the VCA tab, which can be found on the right-hand side of the control panel under the Smart section. The VCA menu is an advanced menu that allows you to track all the cross-line, intrusion, and ultra-motion detection events across your cameras. When a person or vehicle triggers the detection on one of your cameras, it will appear as an event on the right-hand side of your screen. You can double-click that event for more details, including 10-second clip of whatever triggered your event. You can also view the past VCA events by navigating to Behavior Search menu. Simply select your camera from the menu and click Search. This will display a list of all the VCA events from that camera. You can refine your search by adjusting the time, or by filtering the results to people or vehicles only, and then clicking Search again. Not only can you see a thumbnail preview of each event, but you can also play back the last 10 seconds of the event from this alarm video menu, and you can download the event right away if required by clicking on the download icon. There's also a full screen button to enlarge the video for more details. You can press the Escape button on your keyboard to exit the full screen mode. Overall, the VCA menu allows you to instantly search your camera for key events. It may take some time to learn how it works, but it's well worth it. Next up, we have the Face Recognition menu. Now, the first thing to clarify is that there is a difference between face detection and face recognition. Almost every Uniview camera supports face detection, which allows the camera to trigger a recording or take a snapshot whenever a face appears in the scene. However, face recognition is only supported by a few cameras, and it must also be supported by the NVR. When enabled, a camera with face recognition can distinguish between different people, and if their face has been added to your database, you can trigger certain events when they are recognized. For example, a door could be opened automatically, or the NVR can send you an email screenshot of them when they appear. With a standard face detection camera, the features we have are pretty limited. So first, we're going to get to the face recognition menu from the control panel and click on the icon. We can select a camera to monitor in real time, and whenever a person walks into view of the camera, it will display their photo with a timestamp at the bottom of the screen. We can select a camera to monitor in real time, and whenever a person walks into view of the camera, it will display their photo with a timestamp at the bottom of the screen. If you have a camera with face recognition, you can access more features, like the ability to save the faces into the Face Library database. Next up, we have the e-mapping feature. So the e-mapping feature allows you to import a map of your location and place cameras onto the map. First, we're going to go back to the control panel and then open the e-map icon. Then you're going to click on the button in the middle that says Add Map. Then select a picture of your facility from the file browser. In this case, my picture is right over here. And then enter a name for your picture. So this is my office map, and click Add. So now we're going to see the whole overview of our office facility, and we can start adding cameras onto the map. So simply just by dragging the cameras over, we are adding them onto the map. And just like that, we're able to sort of add the cameras into the physical locations where they are. So now that my cameras are added to the map, what can we actually do with this? So this is helpful because you can instantly double click a camera. Actually, we're gonna have to go to the map function. So right now I'm in edit map. So we're gonna go over to map. And if we double click on the camera, that pulls up the live view right away. So we can immediately see sort of what's happening in that location. And as you can see, it also works on the other cameras. So just a very sort of intuitive way to immediately jump to your camera's live view. And if you have a building with multiple floors, you can go ahead and add more pictures from the picture management. So you can add sort of like floor 1, floor 2, floor 3 for some larger office buildings or maybe a college or university. So make it easy to find your cameras. We also have the function called Hot Zone, which is basically like a zoomed in picture of all your cameras. So I can add a hot zone here. We'll call it like important area. So this is like a zoomed in portion of the map, and you can add more cameras into here if you want to. So just add some cameras along here. Like that. So this is just sort of another way to make it easier and intuitive to access your cameras on the map. So we can go between our main map, which is office, and our important zone, which is a zoomed in portion of the same map. One last thing to note about the EMAP is that when you're looking at your map, you'll notice that some of the cameras are flashing red. So this means that there's actually motion detected in that area. So that makes it very easy to quickly check where motion may be happening and find out what's going on there. So that covers the EMAP feature. If you want to monitor the amount of people entering and exiting your premises for data collection, for example, you own a business and you want to find out how busy you are on the weekends, you can enable people counting on the camera. While we do recommend a dedicated people counting sensor for the most accurate results, you can actually leverage your existing security cameras to count people with relatively good accuracy. And for the best results, we recommend having this camera set up outside your store at the front entrance. That's where you can set up a cross-line detection at the door that will easily count people who are entering and exiting the location. So what we need to do is head over to the web interface of our NVR and go to the Smart menu. So I'm going to do that right now. And once you're in the Smart menu, select your people counting camera from the drop-down list. In this case, I'm selecting my camera D2, and you're going to select people flow counting and then click the gear icon beside it. And that's where you're going to draw the line. As you can see, I already have this purple line already drawn here. So whenever a person crosses from sort of top to bottom, it's going to count as an entrance. And if they go from bottom to top, it's going to count as if they left the location. You can also reverse this using the A to B or B to A option here. And make sure that you go ahead and save that setting. And then make sure you also have it ticked in the VCA config menu. So make sure you tick people counting. So now that we have people counting set up on the camera, let's take a look at how we can track this data in EZStation. What we're going to do is head over to the people counting page that's over here on the control panel. And from here, we can set up a camera to keep track of. So we're going to add a camera under people flow counting. And I'm going to select my second camera here. And I'm just going to put critical alarm. This is like if you have too many people in one area, you can have an alarm trigger. But in this case, we're not worried about that. So I'm just going to put 10 and sort of open that up. Now we can see this camera with the line that we have drawn previously. So when we go to this option called Report Statistics, we can click on this zone and we can get a count of how many people came in today. So as you can see, there's a graph that shows how many people entered and how many people left on each day. So as you can see, 20th and 21st were the weekend, so obviously not many people came to the office. But as soon as you get to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we see a lot of activity. So if you have a very popular store, you're going to see more information. Obviously, this is like 30 people, but if you have a sort of supermarket, you're going to have potentially thousands of people coming in every day. And this is a great way to keep track of it. Next up, we have the alarm configuration page. Now, the alarm configuration page allows you to adjust some interesting settings for whenever an event occurs. You can access the alarm configuration page on the right-hand side, which is under the basic menu under alarm configuration. So again, this page allows you to set trigger actions whenever an event occurs. So for example, let's say that your NVR goes offline. You can have EZStation send you an email alert that your NVR has gone offline. Or if motion is detected on one of your cameras, you can have multiple cameras pop up on the screen. So let me show you how that works. First, you have to choose either between camera alarm or device alarm at the top left here. So device alarm is going to send you information from your NVR, like if it goes offline or if the hard drive is like having an issue. However, in most situations, you're probably going to stick to camera alarm, which is what I'll be setting up. So to start with, we're going to select our camera. So in this case, I'm going to select this 4 megapixel dual light camera. Then you're going to see a long list of alarm events. So these are sorted into 3 types of events, which is the event folder for sort of basic events, online, offline, which is self-explanatory. It'll tell you if the camera goes offline, and VCA, which is for more advanced events like crossline, intrusion, face detection, and so on. In this case, I'm going to set up the camera with intrusion detection. So we click on intrusion detection from the menu here, and then we're going to have the option to configure the intrusion detection. So by clicking this icon here, that'll open up our device right away into the web browser. Then I want to go over to my smart menu and check intrusion detection for this camera. So that's checked. Then I'm going to configure it quickly. So in this case, I want to be notified whenever somebody walks into this parking spot, because this is very important to me. So I've set up my line. That looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and save that. So this is my intrusion detection configuration. Now we can go back to EZStation, and we have option for the trigger actions. So from the trigger actions tab, we can add the cameras that we want to appear on the screen. So in this case, I'm going to click on plus add. Then I'm going to select my channels that I want to pop up. So whenever I get intrusion detection on the first camera, there's going to be 4 other cameras that will pop up. Let me show you how that works. So we have option for live view here. We can choose between 10 seconds and 60 minutes. In this case, I'm going to select 30 seconds for each camera. And we also have option to enable the alarm output for each of these cameras, or to send the camera over to a video wall if we have a decoder set up. In this case, I'm just going to leave it on live view only and save those settings. So now what's going to happen is when somebody walks into that parking spot, we're going to get a live view pop-up of those 4 cameras. So let me show you how that looks. Right, so as you can see, there's somebody in my parking spot over there. And what happened is all these 4 cameras popped up on the screen. So this allows you to quickly sort of keep track of your cameras in a very intuitive fashion. And you can immediately, you can sort of live view and see what's going on. And you can also see the other cameras. So these are sort of my important cameras that I want to quickly monitor and take action what's going on. So other than triggering a live view, we can also trigger an email notification from this alarm configuration menu. So that's over here on the top right. It's called send email. So if we check that, we also need to have our email parameters set up. I'm not going to go into too much detail on this video, but we do have 2 tutorials on YouTube, how to set up Uniview NVR with Gmail and how to set up Uniview NVR with Microsoft Office 365. So take a look at those videos if you have email notification requirements. But basically, you would check the send email button, and then whenever this intrusion detection gets triggered, you will receive an email regarding that. All right, that concludes our EZStation guide. Hopefully you now feel confident enough to use and navigate the software to get the most out of your security system. If there's anything you'd like us to cover in the future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.